So we have our bronze tier and our silver tier for our membership programs, but what about the gold tier? Where did that go? And what new awesome opportunity have we come up with specifically for that tier? Find out today on the Murdy Creative Co podcast. And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's episode is golden tickets for the golden tier. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y, creative.co. And be sure to check out our new and latest product, our leather covers with pen loop. So I will probably do a whole episode specifically on these new products as they are awesome. But for those of you who love our stationary cut and our pocket cut, but thought to yourself, I wish they had the pen loops that the journals have, well, you're in luck. They have them now. To buy this exact thing, you can go to our website and you go to under the writing section, there is going to be the stationary cut. You can select Americano, as this is Americano color. And then near the bottom of the options, there is add pen and pen cut, or pen holder, excuse me. And that will obviously switch it to what you see here. And we are super excited about this. There's going to be a lot of more discussion about what they are and what they do and all that other great stuff later, Jay. But I want to make sure you guys got a chance to see them. So check that out on the web if you haven't heard about that already. We just launched them just last week at the very, very end of the week. So they're kind of new, and we obviously are excited to hear feedback from people. So I had spent some time after we launched the membership program working on brainstorming with the team about what we could do. And we had brainstormed ahead of time about what we wanted our tiers to be. And at first I said, okay, we want to have the tiers. We want to probably have 3 tiers, but I was not happy with what the top tier was going to be because nothing in the top tier struck me as particularly special and cool. And so I said, you know what we'll do? We'll launch the first 2 tiers, the bronze and the silver. We'll get those out because the things in those tiers I was happy with. And we will figure out what we're going to do for the gold tier later. And so that's what we did. We launched the bronze and the silver tier. And I had put together a list of people where they struck me as individuals who would benefit from the program a lot. Sometimes these are people who'd purchased multiple items from us in the past or other things. And they struck me as people who would be really good candidates to be in the program. Except this list is people who weren't in the program. So I sent an email to them and I asked for feedback. And I limited the list a little bit because I think I sent it out to a total of maybe 500 people that had gotten that. Our total email list is well over 16,000. So I sent it to those people specifically because I wanted to limit the amount of feedback we got so that I could then respond personally to each person. And there was a lot of amazing feedback for people who, like I said, should be in the program based off of kind of what their past purchasing behavior has been, but aren't. And there were a lot of great individual and specific points that were brought up by some of them where it was our failing to explain it properly that were barriers for them. For example, we did not make it clear enough in the marketing that the in-store credit rolls over indefinitely and is yours, period, right? So whether you pause or cancel, it doesn't matter. Your in-store credit is your in-store credit, and it never goes away unless you spend it. So if you sign up for a month, you sign up and you get the in-store credit, and then you cancel, that in-store credit's still your in-store credit, even if you don't use it then. Because there are really 2 halves to the program. There's the in-store credit and the bonus, which is kind of the instant reward that you get right now and you get going into the future, obviously. And then there's the perks, which are perks like the priority shipping, the free 2-day shipping, and the priority production, I should say, the free 2-day shipping, the access to the limited editions. Those are things that are perks that are related to your membership. So while the in-store credit and bonus is a instant reward that is repeated over the months, if you were to stop mid-month, you wouldn't lose that in-store credit. You only lose the perks that are the other perks. So that's a point that obviously I need to make in a better ways. But I also had an opportunity to talk with quite a few people about why they didn't join the program, right? And it was really fun. It was a really good conversation I had with a lot of people. And one of the things that came out of it was, well, the limited editions, access to the limited editions, early access to the limited editions is great, but the limited editions don't really have everything I'm looking for. It's just the limited edition, right? And that sparked a new idea, which was, what if you could get the limited edition leather, but in any product that we sell? So that's going to be our new golden ticket. So our gold tier will cost $29.99 a month, or excuse me, $29 flat a month, but you will get $39 of in-store credit. So just to recap, the bronze is $9 and you get $1. That's the equivalent of a 10% discount if you let that accrue, and then it covers the entirety of one purchase. It's not a discount, but it functions like one if you let it accrue. The silver tier is still $19 and you get $24. So it's a $19 cost and a $5 bonus, which is about 20-ish% or so. And then if you get the 29 and you get 39 of in-store credit, it's more like 25%, right? So it's not a discount in that you don't get a percentage off your products, but it is a discount in that if you let that accrue and then you end up spending it and it covers the purchase, you will have spent less than what the cost of the purchase was by a substantial margin in the gold tier. So that's one aspect of it, of course. You get all the benefits of the silver tier and the bronze tier, of course. But in addition, between 11 a.m. on Wednesday and 11 a.m. on Friday, for that specific window, there will be a set number of golden tickets that will become available to the gold tier members. And they will be able to go to any product on our website, and there will be a checkbox that says, upgrade this product to a limited edition leather. And they can check that box and complete that purchase. And whatever product is the one tied to that purchase, right? The slim cut, for example, is what we will make in that limited edition leather for them. And it'll say limited edition on the back and everything like that. And there's a couple of caveats to this program, and I'll go into the details about why it took us a little while to get it figured out. And there's a lot of back-end technical challenges to it. But if you were to buy this product with the limited edition leather, and you were to buy an executive cut, for example, one aspect is that it does not preclude us from then 3 weeks later launching an executive cut in the limited edition leather. So one point is this: while obviously the limited editions, we don't bring them back for a minimum of 6 months, if ever. If you get something with a golden ticket, that doesn't preclude us from doing it as a limited edition at some point in the future. Obviously, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So the golden ticket doesn't preclude it. Second off, the golden tickets have a potential of taking up to 2 weeks to get to you. And I will explain why. One of the challenges with this idea when it first came around, obviously, was how do we make this something that people can do easily on the website if they're members, but it also allows for us to somewhat control the flow of this. Because when we buy our limited edition leather, we buy it in advance. We get the limited edition leather in, we figure out what products are the best fit for it or what products we think are a good fit for it based off of the quantity we'd purchased. We lay them out, we see how many we can get out, and then we end up usually using that number to generate the limited edition. Sometimes the leathers we're buying, oftentimes the leather we're buying is limited from the supplier. When we're buying it, we don't know if we can ever get more of it. Many times the suppliers we're buying from are bulk breakers, so they buy large lots from the tannery, or sometimes they buy lots from the tannery that are leftovers that the tannery sells to them, and once that leather is gone, they don't get more of it. So there are instances where we won't be able to get more leather of a certain variety. Now, for our purposes for the golden ticket, we are working very diligently and very hard to make sure that if we create these golden tickets, if we offer these limited edition ability to swaps, we can also get enough of that leather to then complete the orders that are associated with it. And what that will mean is that there are some weeks where the limited number, the golden tickets will be limited substantially because the leather, we just don't have very much of it and we don't know if we can get more of it. In the case where, let's say we had 5 golden tickets in a certain week, if we ended up selling the limited edition and we didn't sell very many of the actual limited edition in its window, we would have more leather left over and we could do all of that with the leather we have available to us. But if we sell all of the limited editions that we had intended to sell, and we had 5 people get executive cuts, for example, in the limited edition leather, we may need to order more leather to complete those orders, which is why the golden ticket orders may take up to 2 additional weeks to finish, even with the priority production, because we have to get the material in. We say 2 weeks. It should be faster than that under most circumstances. There really shouldn't be a circumstance where we don't have it out well within that 2-week window, but we want to give ourselves some margin. So that's something to keep in mind, which is if you use a golden ticket and you purchase a product, and for that particular week, the leather that we had assigned for the limited edition happened to go fast and we need to order more of it, your order will be delayed slightly, but we will keep you abridged of that, and that we will obviously let you guys know what's going on as it goes on. Furthermore, we had to try to figure out how to do this, to manage this, right? Because we can't have an unlimited golden ticket opportunity in this regard, because we can't say for sure that the leather will be compatible, with the quantities of infinite, right? The point of the limited editions is they're not available. So that's where they're limiting in the numbers of the tickets are a part of it, and the limited time window. They will only be available from Wednesday to Friday. In that 48-hour window, 11 a.m. on Wednesday to 11 a.m. on Friday. That window will be open for you to switch. That also allows for us, so when that window closes, we know whether we're going to need to order more limited edition leather or not for those tickets. So that's part of it, right? I'm really excited about this. And the way that we are doing it on the website, I think, is good. I think it makes sense. If you go to a product page and you are signed in as a member of the gold tier group, you should see a box up here that says upgrade this to limited edition. And then you can hit the check box to check that, and then you hit add to cart. And what it'll do is it'll add the product to your cart, and then it'll add another item, the golden ticket, that will be the upgrade. And we will know in the back end to switch to leather. Purchase Onyx, by the way. Always purchase Onyx when you're doing this. It's the cheapest option of the leathers. Otherwise, you will get overcharged. So pick the Onyx option and then upgrade to limited edition, and that'll swap the leathers. That makes sense. We had gone through a variety of different ideas of how we were going to do this. One option was you go and add the product to your cart, and then you go and find the golden ticket product and you select from a drop down, or we had a variety of different ways of doing it. And at the end of the day, it was just going to be too complicated to try to manage it any other way. So this option makes the most sense to me. Obviously, I'm open to feedback if people want to have feedback on how we're doing it. Obviously, I'm open to ideas if you've got either ideas for ways to make it easier. And there may be some variations to this. The caveat to all of this, and this is a caveat, this is supposed to be going live as the day that this podcast is released. I'm recording this a day in advance or 2 days in advance. I can't remember. So we're going to go live with this Wednesday at 11 a.m. in theory. At Wednesday at 11 a.m., we will go live in theory. My plan is to hopefully have by 8 a.m., the golden tier be available and listed on the website. So you can go and get your golden tier opportunity. You can go join the golden tier, and that will give you access to it at 11 when it goes live. Now, by the way, you can buy it at any time, right? You can, once that opening is made, once we launch it on the website, if at 11 a.m. on Wednesday you want to go get gold tier and you want to go switch to the new limited edition, once you see what that limited edition leather is, so you can go buy a product, hey, you can do it then. More power to you. And if you are a current member in the bronze or silver tier, once we make that gold tier available, you will be able to go into your profile, your setting in the back end, and you'll be able to change your membership level to the gold tier. And you'll be able to do that then. And we're hoping that that's a smooth transition. And if you have any problems with it, reach out to us. We're happy to help. Obviously, we want to make sure that this transition goes smoothly, and we want to launch this as something that people are very excited about. So the gold tier should be available to purchase Wednesday morning, theoretically. And the first opportunity to swap this week's limited edition leather to a different product will be at 11 a.m. that same day. We'll see how it goes. I cannot make any promises that will happen. If between when I'm recording this and when we go live, something goes wrong, we'll probably push it back a week. But we're hopeful. We're actually pretty excited, and we think it's going to go well. So all of that to say, This was a great thing that came out of feedback about the program. And in fact, one of the things that became very clear to me as I was listening to the feedback is that I need to do an email. One of my old school behind the scenes text-based emails. And so this week, I'm going to put a behind the scenes email together, or I'm going to may call it something different, but it'll be an email like that. And I'm going to go through the whole details of the program, how it came to be, what our thoughts are on it, what are the perks and the things you may not realize about it, what are the different levels and the advantages and disadvantages, and what do you think would be good additional things to put in various tiers. We've had other people suggest great things. One of the things that actually came up, and we're probably going to do this, we haven't figured out quite how to do it just yet, but we're probably going to, is to have a poll to allow gold tier members to vote on what limited edition leather they'd like to see. Now, there's a couple of caveats to that. One, how do you know for sure? How can you make sure that what the limited edition leather that the people vote on is what they actually end up using, and that we can get it in the right quantities and the right thicknesses and all the other things that go along with this? So at this exact moment of launch, I don't know if we're going to have that technically capable at the moment, but it is our intention to try to get it so that the gold tier members will be able to vote on what limited edition leathers they'd like to see. There are other gold tier member ideas that we've been playing around with. Obviously, we want to hear from you guys. So if you think that there are perks, that would be great. We would love to hear them. And to that end, I want to remind everyone that you can send us an email directly. You can comment below on YouTube. We see those. We do respond to them when I can get a chance to. And we want to have an open dialogue with you. A lot of the great ideas that came out of this change and a lot of cool things that have been coming out of this program have been a result of people saying, it'd be really great if we could do this. That has been hugely helpful for us, because trying to come up with an idea for what makes everyone excited sitting here in our room is difficult in some regards. So if you've got ideas, tell me about them. If you are one of those people who've made more than one purchase and you haven't got a membership yet, I would love to hear more about why. Here's why I bring it up. The limited edition program is a great one, sure, but it's not really the main draw in my mind of the membership program. The main draw is the bonus, right? The getting the in-store credit. Because we don't really do sales anymore, and we aren't likely to do discount sales very much ever in the future. And so for those who are members who have purchased multiple products and like our products and think that they might purchase something else in the future, this would be a simple way to say, okay, I'm going to get something at a discount at some point here because I'm going to be purchasing. So I would love to hear more. Furthermore, and I'm going to talk about this in the email, if you're going to make a purchase on our website of anything, you should sign up for the membership first, because you get that in-store credit plus that bonus instantly. So if you say, I want to go buy a journal, I'm going to go sign up for the gold membership. I will get all of my membership fee, all $29.99 back as in-store credit and $10 bonus. And then I can take that $39 and instantly apply it to the purchase I was already going to make. And I get priority shipping or priority production and free 2-day shipping. If you then pause or cancel after that order has been placed and shipped, that's fine. That's great. You've benefited from the program. There is no minimum requirement. There's no minimum commitment to get the perks, right? So there really isn't any reason that everybody who's making a purchase on our website should be part of the membership program, even if only for that purchase. Like, it doesn't really make sense not to do it. There's no benefit to not doing it, and there's a lot of benefits to doing it, even if only for the purchase. Now, you may be like, well, Colin, why are you telling us this? This seems like we're taking advantage of your program. And the answer is yes, that's true. But at the same time, I think a lot of you will sign up for the program and realize that it's beneficial overall, that it's good to be part of it because of the benefits it gives you on an ongoing basis. And you'll stay. That's my bet. And I want to make sure that it's something that you want to stay for. So if there are perks that you think to yourself, man, if they had this perk, I probably would stick around for a long time. Tell me about it. Please, 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 please tell me about it, because I want to make this program a good program. I want to make this something worth your while. So be sure to mention it in the comments. Send us an email directly. We are happy to talk through this, and we're very excited about this program. If you have questions about the program, about the membership program, about the gold tier, about the golden tickets, about any of that stuff, tell me. reach out to us. I want to hear about you. You can reach out to us on the main page of our website at murdycreative.co. There's a contact form at the bottom, or you can send us an email directly at sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co. We're happy to help. Be sure to like and subscribe this video like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. That helps us and obviously helps the algorithm move us up. And we definitely want to get you guys the new videos when they go live. And I have not been as good as I should be about getting it out every week, because there's not always something that I want to specifically talk about every week. So if you definitely subscribe to that notification bell, you'll get notified when we do launch new episodes, which we try to do on Wednesdays. If you need any help with any products, any orders, any concepts, anything with the website, any issues you have with the product, reach out to us. We definitely want to help. We are real people. Anna's the one that answers the emails and the text messages and the phone call. Anna does a lot around here. Anyway, moral of the story is it's a real person answering the phone. So if for whatever reason you can't get a hold of us when you give us an email or a phone call at 414-434-9001, you can text us at that number as well, 414-434-9001. We answer all of our emails. We answer 99.9% of our emails within 24 hours of receiving them. We answer most of them within several hours of receiving them, but give us a day. And we answer our text messages pretty quick, and we answer phone calls pretty quick. But if for whatever reason you can't get a hold of us, just leave a voicemail. Just give us a few minutes. It's a real person reading these. There have been a lot of people reaching out to me to try to sell me on AI chatbots and AI customer service, and I cannot tell you how much I hate it. I hate that concept. It should be a real person answering my questions. However, that also involves a little bit of patience on both sides so that we can get that done, because Anna does a lot around here. So reach out to us. We're happy to help. If you want to get a bunch of products, we do have bulk orders. I'm going to actually tell you about that in a second. I skipped a step in my little script here. Be sure to leave us a review. A good review goes a long way to help us. If you are happy with your product, please leave us a review. You can go to murdycreative.co/review to leave us a good review. That's going to redirect you to Google right now. We switch where that goes depending on where we want the reviews. It changes whether we want to boost our Facebook profile, whether we want to boost our Google profile. Right now, we're sending them all to Google because that helps our search engine results. So definitely, if you're got a good review, leave it there go to murdycreative.co/review, and it will take you to where you should go. If you want to read the reviews, you go to murdycreative.co/reviews with an S, and that'll be a place where it aggregates them so you can read the reviews there. If for whatever reason you have a bad review for us, please, before you leave the bad review, give us an opportunity to make things right. It is deeply important to me personally that everybody has a good experience with the product and the company and everything. So if you're unhappy for any reason at all, reach out to us. I want to make it right. We offer free domestic returns. So if you purchase the product in the US and you want to return it to us, it doesn't cost you anything to return it, and you get your money back. Not the engraving money if you spent money on engraving, but everything else you get back. Please, we want to make it right. It is deeply important to me personally that everyone has a good experience with the company. So reach out to us, and we're happy to help. If you want to get custom engraved items with a logo or a picture or something like that, we have no minimum order fees, no minimum order quantities, and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee, normally about $15, can go up to $25 or more depending on how complicated or large it is. I mean, if you get a full page engraving on a slim cut on both the front and back, it's more than $15. But if you want to get a small logo on the front of your journal, it's probably $15, right? And you can get just one, right? There's no minimum order quantities, so you can just get one. Go to the product page, click the blue Add Custom Logo button, and it'll open up the customizer. The customizer is a bit difficult to use on mobile, so I would recommend if you're going to use the customizer, grab a desktop and do it on a desktop. It's much simpler. Also, remember, the product is a lot bigger in real life than it is on your screen, so if you're trying to figure out how to size it, it does tell you the dimensions of the image in the customizer in inches. So you can use a ruler and see what it's actually going to look like in real size. That'll help a lot. But if you want to get a whole bunch of items, you can do that. You can add it to your cart. You can change the quantity in your cart, and it'll auto-apply the bulk discounts. Bulk discounts start at a quantity of 5, and it's mix and match. So you can add a whole bunch of different things or a whole bunch of the same thing, and it still counts. And it starts at quantity 5, and it goes up from there. So if you get a whole bunch of items, the discount gets pretty decent. And we're happy to talk you through that program if you're curious and you want to know what that discount looks like. Reach out to us, ask us. We'll be happy to talk you through it. If for whatever reason you don't see the logo that says Add Custom Logo button and the blue button on the product pages, we can still do custom orders. It's just not in our customizer yet. So you can send us an email directly, sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co. In the subject line, mention something about custom order. That always helps us kind of find it and organize it. And then please include the image you want engraved on it in the email and what object or what product and color you're after. That means we can create a custom mock-up for you of that product, as well as a custom order link to use to purchase it. So that always helps us make it a quicker turnaround, makes it a little easier to purchase if it's not in the customizer. But if it is, use that. It's great. We love to have that happen. If you got any product or podcast ideas too, but podcast ideas, send them our way. I'm always looking for things to talk about, and I want to give you guys what you're looking for. So thank you guys so very much. Have a great day. Goodbye.